By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do to make $10,000 in the next 30 days with no skills, no experience, money back guaranteed. I have nothing to sell you here today. The reason I'm sharing this message is number one, I believe in you. You can do it if you're serious. And number two, I was interviewed today by a YouTuber who's actually making a video showing people how to make $10,000 in the next 30 days with no skills and no experience. He asked ChatGPT what to do. The AI said, hey, go sell solar panels, something wacky like that. The guy reached out to me because he views me as an expert in cold calling. I've made 60,000 cold calls, and he wanted to learn how I could help him make the money. I quickly realized he had no idea what he was doing. He had no plan. And I feel like there's a lot of you out there who have the desire to make more money, but don't have the skills, don't have the experience, don't know what to do. Maybe you're a sales rep that just wants to have your biggest earning month ever. Maybe you're a business owner who's already making some money, but you want to increase that top line. Maybe you're just some random person that got lucky and stumbled across this video and is going to learn how to make $10,000 in the next 30 days with my proven 3-step system. It applies to all those situations and more. Step number one is to identify who has your money. You don't make money. The Federal Reserve prints money. You take money from somebody else who already has the money. They willingly give you their money because you have persuaded, you have convinced them that they have a problem that you can solve. They will pay you because you can help provide them a result, an outcome. Identify, do you want to sell into B2B or B2C? B2B, business to business, B2C, business to consumer. For example, B2B, I worked in tech sales for 5 years. I've closed millions of dollars in actual sales, so I know what I'm talking about. I sold a software that helps companies collect employee feedback. Okay, who has my money? Companies that want to collect employee feedback. Okay, what specific companies want to collect employee feedback? Okay, let's just say I like to sell to professional service industry, specifically law firms that have between $100 and $250 million in annual revenue. Okay, I've identified my ideal customer profile. Check, very specific, who has my money? Who within those companies is my ideal buyer persona? The employee that actually cares about collecting employee feedback. Let's think for a second. Maybe it's HR. Okay, what problems does HR have? Employees leave, attrition, costs a lot of money. Employees are being laid off. It leads to low morale. Employees are not as productive. Okay, Mr. Mrs. HR leader, I can help you solve those problems. The result is that you're going to retain more employees and it's going to save you money. I'm helping you save money, make money, mitigate risk. Boom, I've solved a massive problem and therefore I'm going to charge you $10,000 today and you're going to pay me. An example of B2C, which is probably more realistic for a lot of you guys, think about a duty-free zone. As soon as you get off of the airplane, you see this duty-free zone. You're excited, maybe you're going on a trip, and you see all these products that are tax-free, and you can buy them right here, right now. The duty-free zone identifies you, the consumer, off the airplane as their buyer persona. So you trying to make money, who has your money? Is it a YouTuber that's already making money? Is it some solar panel rep that is trying to sell solar panels to residential houses, but they're thinking that they're not an actual business, they're not trying to build a team, they have no budget, so why would you try and sell a product to them? Identify very specifically who has your money. You need to also be very clear as to what is your path to the $10,000. For example, there's 3 paths I can think of. Do you want to sell one customer a $10,000 offering? Do you want to sell 10 customers a $1,000 offering each? Or do you want to sell 100 customers a $100 offering? Think about what type of structure and business model you want, because it will help you be much more clear. Okay, if I want to sell one person a $10,000 product, maybe I want to do B2B. Okay, what specific businesses can I help? Okay, I want to sell 100 people a $100 product. Do 100 people exist in the world with $100 in their pocket right now that they're ready to spend? The answer is yes. So once you convince yourself it's actually possible, you can take yourself to step number 2. Do you want to sell a product or a service? Regardless of whatever you want to offer, you got to keep in mind this needs to solve a problem and it needs to deliver a tangible result that we can therefore justify payment in exchange for this product or service. An example of a product, and in my view, the best product one could sell if you want to make money quick, is a digital product, a knowledge-based product. I have an idea, I type it out, I make a video, I put it up on the internet, and I try and sell a course. There's still a stigma around e-learning, but I'll tell you, if you take $10,000, multiply it by 2, that's what I'm making monthly selling courses. I'm not trying to sell you a course. There's not going to be any links in the description, but that's just an example of how whenever you start to gain some information that other people can benefit from, not just some arbitrary system that you're trying to sell to help other people make money when you have never actually made money. I told the guy I was interviewing with, why are you trying to sell solar panel reps programs when you've never sold a solar panel yourself? Think about that. I've actually made cold calls. I have 5 years of tech sales experience. I am one chapter ahead in the book than the people I am trying to sell products to. So it makes sense. In the movie Catch Me If You Can, he was a professor before he got arrested. And they said, how are you a professor when you never went to college? He said, well, I read one chapter ahead in the textbook. So if you go down the product route, figure out an information, knowledge-based product, something that you are interested in, that you know a little bit more about than the people you're trying to sell to, and that's how you do that. An example of a service, which is going to be much easier, this would be basically trading your time for money. So what I would do is I would try and be a middleman. They talk about social media marketing agencies, but figure out who is your specific customer. I would identify who are YouTubers in a niche that I actually watch that I'm interested in. Who has between 25,000 and 100,000 subscribers? Are they editing their videos? Is there anything that I could do to help them be more successful? Could I reach out to them and say, hey, I'd like to do editing for your videos. Pay me $1,000 a month. Go find 10 of those guys. They pay you $1,000. You find some professional editor in India, for example, and you pay that editor $200 a month. Okay, boom, all of a sudden you've made $800 in profit because you have identified the person with your money that needs a service, editing. You go find the editing service, which requires no skills. You can use a Fiverr, Upwork, and then that arbitrage is you making a profit in the middle. You are trading your time for money in that case, and there's 1,000 examples I could share with you, but think about what you're interested in and who you actually would want to help and what you can help them with. The third and final step is the most important because we can think of ideas, we can think about who we want to help, we can have products, but we need to actually take the money. Step number 3 is to establish one customer acquisition channel, not a million, one specific way in which you are going to get people to deposit money directly into your bank account or you are going to receive cash in your hand. I had 2 cleaners come to my apartment this morning. I handed them 5 $20 bills, $100, because they offered me a service. Their channel was they walked around the entire building and put business cards on all of the doors. I had their business card for 9 months. I'm moving out because I'm moving to Colorado. I happen to look at that card and say, you know what? I'm actually in need of a clean out service because I'm moving. I call them. They turn up 2 days later. I hand them $100. That is their acquisition channel. There are 5 proven ways to acquire customers. Number 1 is direct outreach. Think about this as cold outbound. This is what I'm an expert in. Cold calling, cold emailing, reaching out directly to your buyer persona, making them aware of their problems, and then educating them on your solution and why it matters for them to act right now. Option number 2 is making organic content, deciding that you are gonna become an expert. You're gonna start making YouTube videos, LinkedIn videos, you're gonna put out tweets, you're gonna make TikToks, Instagrams, content to build this funnel that you can then funnel people in to your offering. Think Alex Hormozi, he makes all of these marketing business videos in the hope that he can acquire business owners that like his content so that he can then invest in their companies. That's an example of using paid content to actually acquire customers. Option number 3 to acquire customers is paid advertising. Me paying Google, I'll pay you $1,000, and anytime someone searches the word tech sales, Trent Russell's name and a link to one of my YouTube videos pops up, and then therefore they watch my videos, I have a service, and that's a whole different type of funnel, but you could do paid advertising. This becomes very challenging because you now need money to make money. Think Coca-Cola, how much advertising they do so that their brand stays prominent. The fourth way to acquire customers is by establishing a partnership channel. These big B2B companies partner with these other companies so that they can then use one another's sales force to sell their products. For example, Palantir. Palantir partners with IBM. Palantir doesn't have to hire sales reps, but Palantir will then pay IBM a percentage of IBM selling the Palantir product. An example of this for me is I have a cold calling course. Rather than selling it directly through my website, I found someone who's already doing SaaS, software as a service, content, courses. They have multiple courses. I reached out to him and said, I love what you're doing. I really respect what you've built. I'd love to offer my course through your website. We'll do a partnership and you'll pay me a percentage of the sales. Boom, win-win situation. And the fifth and best way to acquire customers is customers telling other customers. So for example, what if you decided in the next 30 days, I'm so serious that I'm gonna help someone, I'm gonna help them get editing services, I'm gonna do it for free. I'm gonna do such a good job that they end up making a testimonial video that I can then make into a video sales letter and then use that in paid advertising to draw traffic to it because you don't have an audience, you haven't made videos, you don't wanna put out free content. And then all of a sudden, customers will start telling other customers, and this is gonna be the most profitable way to grow over time, but really not applicable to you in the next 30 days because this takes a long time to build up that equity. At this point in the video, you're realizing, wow, Trent, this is a lot of information. How am I actually gonna do it in the next 30 days? You identify who has your money, what are you gonna offer them, and then how are you actually going to get them to give you the money? The final analogy I wanna leave you with is think about money. You're trying to get money. Money is currency. Currency comes from the word current. Think about the ocean, current, waves. Money's like water, it's always flowing. Water is in a pond. We drink that pond water. We pee into a toilet. The toilet water goes into a sewage, goes into a plant, flows out to the ocean, goes up to the clouds, rains down again. The water is always flowing, okay? Money is a current. Money is also flowing. Your money is not your money. Other people's money is not their money. It's been printed, it's been created. You go to Chipotle, you pay Chipotle $12 for your burrito. Chipotle takes that money, pays their suppliers, pays some farmer. That farmer then pays their workers to work on their land. So the money is always flowing around, the money exists, so you gotta think about how do you get in front of that current to take just enough? How do you get in front of that wave of money? And one tangible example you could do today, I was walking on the beach the other day, that's why I have such a great tan, and I thought I really would like a coffee right now. In order for me to get a coffee, I got to get off the beach, go into a coffee shop, and it was an inconvenience. It was out of the way. I was walking on the beach. I had money. So if there was a stand right there with 3 liters of cold brew, I would have paid them $8 for a 12-ounce cup. I don't care because I wanted the coffee. I was right there. The money was flowing. Think about the duty-free zone. People get off the plane. They're going on trips. They have money. They see the alcohol. It's easy. It's convenient. I've heard stories about people pumping people's gas. Think about that. They're right in front of where the money is flowing. In other countries, there's these gypsies that will come up to your table, that will annoy you, that will stand in your parking spot, and you got to pay them for them to get out of the way. They're using their time, they're using their creativity to get in the way of the money flow. So think about, where is the money today? Where are the expensive car rallies? Where are the nicest hotels? Where are the nicest restaurants? Can you go be a server at one of those restaurants? That's where the money is flowing, so go to those places, and I'm confident that if you're serious about making the money, not just I'd like to, I need to go make the money, and you will make it happen. Subscribe to the channel now if you enjoyed this video.